be a great game. Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen. See, we've already got a bit of a crowd coming in to watch the first game in the first qualifiers of the ESL Road to Frankfurt tournament. This is quite an exciting one for whoever wins it, because it might not be the biggest tournament, there's no $1 million prize on the line, but they will get tickets to the ESL Frankfurt, which is going to be, I think, after the Dota Asian Championships, the next big tournament after the international. So this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. For our first game, we've got Rize Gaming, who we'll remember from the ESL Think Fast a couple of months ago, up against Team Asztal, who I'm actually not too familiar with right now, but who are banning heroes where I can kind of appreciate what they're going for. Broodmother, of course, recently brought into Captain's mode and just absolutely devastating against the right lineup. I don't really think it's great as a first ban, though, to be honest, just because Broodmother is so easily countered by so many things. Axe is a great counter, Pudge is a great counter, Kunkka is a great counter. There's just so many, let alone anybody with AoE who can pretty effectively stop the push. She's only really devastating if the other team ends up with no way to stop those spiderlings, which is actually fairly rare. Rize Gaming picking up the Earthshaker. I mean, he's a great hero anyway. He certainly would have been good against that Broodmother if that had been what was going on, but it's not. And perhaps Rize are anticipating Asztal running some kind of large summon heavy, maybe a Nature's Prophet, maybe a Lycan, maybe a CK. CK's been doing huge things in the metagame recently, and is another hero with a whole load of illusions who Earthshaker really excels against. Asztal, though, picking up Vengeful Spirit for the first pick, and this is another fairly common one we're seeing these days. I think the idea being it's that Vengeful aura now. A lot of the teams seem to be playing kind of right-click carry heavy lineups with a lot of buffs to go along with them, so you get a Troll Warlord, you get Vengeful Spirit. I haven't actually seen Sven Ags since that was brought in, but I would really like to see Sven Ags. Yeah, it's a great first pick. I think Vengeful, Earthshaker, and maybe Skywrath would be the most common support picks that I'm used to seeing. And I should just say as well, as I said, I'm not too familiar with Asztal, but certainly Rize did give a very, very good showing of themselves in the Think Fast, getting right up through to the final few rounds. So I got to say, just based on that, and I suppose it's a bit unfair given that I've seen one team and I haven't the other, but Rize are probably the favourites. That would be my guess. We will just have to see. We'll just have to see. Asztal, though, using up quite a bit of their reserve time there. What's that now? Down to 1 minute 18 seconds, and they pick up the Silencer. Possibly anticipating a kind of very large, lockdown-oriented team fight lineup coming out from Rize Gaming. It's maybe a little bit preemptive, based off just the Earthshaker, given how flexible that hero is. But yeah, arguably that could be the setup for big team fight, particularly with the Death Prophet and the Tidehunter being Rize's choice of bans as well. And they choose to pick up the Mirana. Now, I'm not in love with this hero, I gotta say. People try and tell me she can carry, and I'm sorry, but she can't. And I know that's going to make loads of people mad. But look, she's got one great utility on the ult. The rest of it is, yeah, okay, it's got some interesting combos with other heroes, but it's not great all by itself. I think they'll probably be running that alongside the Earthshaker as well. But the utility on the ult is amazing. I just don't think it warrants her being made into a carry, because she can press the R button just as well as the support. So I'm hoping anyway that what we're seeing there from Rize Gaming is they're kind of very gank heavy and great for setting up a big team fight support combo there with the Earthshaker and the Mirana. That would be my hope. For Asztal, the Silencer, of course, is the hero that we're seeing from them, who could really be going on to either the mid lane or in a support role. And well, I guess it depends depends on who Rize choose to send mid. But I think Silencer is a devastating mid, mainly because a lot of the mids that I play, Huskar, Kunkka, Viper, really, really struggle against Silencer. And that's another thing to point out, I suppose. One of the things that makes Mirana and Silencer great picks in this first round of banning is it doesn't give away the positions that you've already picked up. You know, Rize Gaming could easily have their... Let me see, where do people play Mirana? I haven't seen a position 1 for a long time, but that could be a 5 and a position 5 and a position 3. With the Earthshaker and the Mirana. It could be a position 4 and I guess a position 2 if people really wanted to push the Mirana boundary as far as it would go. And then for Asztal, you've got Vengeful Spirit and Silencer. So is that 5 and 2? Is it 4 and 5? Who knows? Who knows? Who dares to dream? Everything is up in the air right now. Asztal banning out the Invoker. I quite like that ban, actually. Looking at what Rize are going for with what seems to be, I think, a lot of team fight and a lot of ways to set up that team fight. So, Mirana Invis into Earthshaker is what they've got at the moment. If you added on an Invoker running around, Quaswex, ready to throw out that Tornado and EMP, that would give them a whole load more initiation options. So I think they were wise to ban out that Invoker. Rize Gaming banning out the Batrider. Now that's interesting. The Batrider ban is preemptive. Batrider is not a huge problem for Earthshaker or Mirana. Mirana can just leap away. Earthshaker's got a stomp as soon as the lasso wears off. And neither of them are hugely significant heroes if they get picked off anyway. So what that means is Rize are planning on picking someone, presumably a big team fighter, given what we've seen from them so far, who is very, very vulnerable to bat. So I'm thinking we might be seeing something like a PA. PA can take quite a lot of damage from the old Batterino. Possibly a Spectre. But certainly some fairly squishy, at least in the early game, hard carry who needs a lot of lockdown. Ember Spirit, possibly. Slark. Lots and lots of options. And the Skywrath Mage pickups. Alright, Rize are going with the even more classic Earthshaker Skywrath support combo, and much to my dismay, we are going to be seeing Mirana on a core role. I'll leave it open to them exactly where they want to run that. I'm not sure what we'll be seeing here. And Team Asztal choose to pick up the Brewmaster, which, almost certainly going to be going mid. Does kind of give away what that silence is going to be doing then. That's a support. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm in love with those picks and bans. Interesting choices. I'll say that much. Also, the Brewmaster split is going to give Earthshaker... It probably won't make a huge amount of difference, but it is going to give Earthshaker just one more person for the Echo Slam to echo off. And Wraith King then picked up for Asztal. Now, Wraith King, in my opinion, is a great hard carry against a team which is focused on their ultimates. And you can really see this coming out of Rize. So the plan is you have Mirana Invis to go in, you get a really great initiation with an Echo Slam onto loads of heroes, hopefully a Creep Wave as well, and then Skywrath Mage drops his ult, and surely the enemy team are all dead by then, right? And a lot of the time they are, but unfortunately then Wraith King just gets back up again and starts murdering you. And that's why he can be a great counter in the position 1 against teams which really, really depend on their ultimates, especially if those ultimates have big cooldowns. And I'm wondering if that pick has actually given Rize a bit of a pause. Let me see. They banned out the Faceless Void. Who else might they be going for? Possibly... No, I don't think we'd be seeing a Medusa, but it's that kind of thing. Perhaps they were even planning on running something like an Anti-Mage. And they've got a fair amount of lockdown with the Earthshaker. Certainly that would explain the Bat ban. Be a bit of an out of the metagame pick though. Going for the Necrophos. Now, given that Team Asztal all have incredibly low range, it should be pointed out that Silencer and Vengeful Spirit, although ranged, are not exactly the premier example of that particular class. So I can see a Necrophos doing quite horrific things to a team that's forced to get very, very close to him and his Heartstopper aura. And Asztal do ban out the Anti-Mage, so yeah, maybe I was onto something there. Maybe it's not so out of metagame pick. And I should just point out we do still have a 2-second delay on the stream, so there's no chance that was sniped and they heard anything there. Prescient as I may seem. So just waiting now for the final ban coming out from Rize, and then we've got 2 more picks coming up. Both teams with a fair amount of reserve time left. Then it's Juggernaut banned out from Rize Gaming. A choice I don't hugely understand. I would have thought with the Necrophos, their main concern would be getting rid of range for Asztal. Because Asztal don't have a huge amount of range right now. That is definitely a fact. But no, the Jug gets banned, and with the magic immunity, with the huge presence in the metagame right now, being built in 100 different ways, being very unpredictable, in addition to obviously very devastating with Omnislash. Yeah, I can see that ban. I can see that ban. I think the thing that Rize Gaming are most afraid of isn't that Asztal will now pick up a nice big ranged hero to kind of round out the team. They're afraid that they're going to pick up some magic immune scaling hard carry who's going to allow Asztal to just face rush them. So with that in mind, fair play on the Juggernaut ban. I can see we've got some Rize support coming out in the chat as well. Any Asztal fans, please make yourselves known. Otherwise, the Rize fans are just gonna run away with this. And Asztal pick up the Queen of Pain. So maybe it wasn't such an obvious Brewmaster mid in the first place. I have recently seen someone try and run a Queen of Pain offlane, but I think that was in the context of a random in a pub game. Should not be taken as influential. I'm not honestly sure what we're going to be seeing here. I am noticing we've got two very nice auras coming out with Vengeful Spirit and Wraith King. That might give them enough sustain if Wraith King went for the Vampiric Aura to actually run an aggro try, possibly with the Silencer. Be a strange lane though. And anybody who's tuning in, if you do enjoy the cast, I'll mention this now and I'll mention this at the end of the game. If you wouldn't mind giving me a follow or a subscribe, that would be hugely appreciated. Last pick coming out here from Rize. What's it going to be? I do think they could do with a little bit more lockdown, although probably Earthshaker by himself is enough to out CC the Wraith King and the Vengeful Spirit. And they go for the Troll Warlord, who I kind of called out early for Asztal. So I was wrong about the team, and wrong about I was kind of expecting him where the Silencer was, but Troll was picked up. Big right-click buffs in this meta. That's what the people love. That's what the people love. And of course, big thank you as well to ESL for organising all this, putting up the money for the tickets, although I suppose they just got it off another department. Because, as well, this is ESL, semi-professional Dota, we get the traditional start of game pause. More support coming out for Rize in the chat. Wow! The Asztal fans are just letting them be letting them be forgotten in the dust of the Twitch chat, which of course everybody knows is where truth is found. Pause is coming out. I think Dire are actually ready now. Dire are indeed ready now. So we're just waiting for someone or something on Rize to happen or not happen. That's, I'm afraid, all I can really say when we're not given a huge amount more information. Well, in the absence of actual team games to go over, we are, of course, going to do the essential fashion show. Earthshaker, rocking some not very impressive stuff, I've got to say. Looks a little bit like a medieval peasant, so I don't think he's going to be winning here. Next, we've got Crush's Marana. That's pretty cool. I like the Sapphire Saber links. I like the Heavenly Guardian Quiver. I like the Bow of the Moonrider. And this isn't all just from one big set either. I think Marana might be a bit of a shoe-in here. Necro's got a cool beard, so that's a thing that happens. Skywrath looking pretty good, but not going to be able to beat the Marana. So let's just see if Dire have anything that can really contest that right now. Oh, Silence is looking pretty cool. I'm pretty sure there's a graphics glitch there, so he's showing up without the shield and the glaives, but that still looks pretty cool. I think that's what he should actually just look like. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Vengeful Spirit. Often a great candidate for these fashion shows, but unfortunately nothing particularly impressive in this game. And finally, Wraith King. Nothing. Brewmaster. Nothing. Oh no, not nothing. We've got the Flail of the Drunken Cask and the Autographed. Oh, autographed by Toby1. Ooh. And yeah, we do just have someone needing a quick reconnect over on the Rize Gaming team, so we'll have a quick pause. We're almost at the end of the fashion show. I'm not entirely sure how I fill time after this. Let's have a quick look. Oh, thanks for the follows, guys. Much appreciated. I should actually have a sub alert up. I don't know why it did stop working, but I'll make sure it's working for the next cast, which will be next weekend. For anybody who's tuning in, it's every Saturday at 4 GMT that we'll be following these teams, competing to try and get their way to Frankfurt. And yeah, that's good. Does Roche still have his Christmas hat on? Roche does not have his Christmas hat on. So I think the fashion award goes to Crush for that Marana. Mainly, I got to admit, for the Sapphire Saber links. I think that is awesome. That is really cool. Roche, how you doing? Yeah, you good? Nice, sweet. Might actually do something a little cheeky here. Let me see what I can find out by looking at the Steam profile. Currently offline, so I'm assuming the restart is pending. Yay, restart pending. Restart Restart all the pending. Do we even have... Let's have a quick look. Items. Any items? No, nobody even had a chance to buy anything. It's great when you have to talk about the starting items and the only thing anybody has is a tango. And you kind of just have to talk for 20 minutes about how, you know, well, maybe he should have gone for a healing salve here, which of course is ridiculous. Everybody knows tangos beat out healing salves. Let's have a look at the XP graph. Let's have a look at the gold graph. Let's have a look at... What does this button do? Nothing. Interesting. I wonder if Dota have fixed the showcase mode thing. Previously you could do a really nice introduction for the teams, because you've got this nice coming up here, and then you could just click here and it would change to the Marana or the Skywrath Mage, but it keeps the name up. It didn't used to do this. It was like 6.79 when they had this beautiful period for casting where it would change the name there. Since then it's been dark and dreary times for all of us. Go back over to the Marana. She did win the fashion show, so I guess she deserves a little bit of showcase mode. See, that's what I mean about it being a really cool mount. Look at that head. What? I don't... Is it... Where's the mouth? Is the mouth like under here? Something like under this hair? I don't even know. Troll. Looks kind of sad, actually. I'd never realized that. Troll, if you look at those eyes. Full of tears. My gosh. My gosh. Oh, I might have actually just got... Let me just quickly check there. Oh, interesting. Okay, I might not actually be here for this one, but the next day of the tournament is actually tomorrow. I apologize. It's not every Saturday. So it'll be today and tomorrow that I think this will be going on. I obviously need to look over my my tournament details. But yeah, there will be more coming tomorrow. I will try and cast some if I have some time, but I do not know if I'm going to be able to... I do not know if I'm going to be able to cast a whole day again, unfortunately. But I'm sure for all you Rize fans, there'll be someone out there casting the Rize games. We're getting there, guys. We are getting to Earthshaker's return. Let's have a look at Earthshaker. It's his fault. Through Troll. There he is. Yeah, you know what you did. You know. Yeah, that vacant expression is clearly someone who's pretty AFK. Don't drool now. That would make you look ridiculous. Brewmaster, you're always good for a laugh. There we go. Shaker's reconnected. Hooray! Oh my gosh. Oh yes, we have an Asztal fan. Sorry, I was looking away from the chat for a little bit there. But yeah, we have an Asztal fan, so we've now actually got a battle in game and a battle in the Twitch chat as well. This will be glorious. And here we go. I'm gonna let the heroes get out of the gate a little bit, and then we'll go on and introduce... I think we'll introduce Rize first. So we've got Crush on the Marana. Going off lane, this is the one core position where I will semi-admit that she can kind of do something, maybe. We have got Yoda on the Skywrath Mage. It looks like this might actually be an aggro try. Yeah, this will be an aggro try, I think, coming out from Rize. Either that or the supports just roam. We've then got Earthshaker being played by Maren Dadota. I'm going to go for Maren, I think is the name there. Troll Warlord going to be played by Matrice. Looks like he's heading mid, and either solo safe lane or the supports are going to rotate down and help him. You and your F on the Necrophos, and we've got a big, smoked up gank attempt coming out here from Asztal. And if they catch this solo Necro, that will be a very, very quick, very, very easy kill. They might get some smoke revealed here, which would let them know that there was something coming. I like this positioning. They've practiced this. They know now they've just got to put some people here, break through the trees with the Vengeful Spirit. Ooh, hoo, hoo. See, I think they could have played that slightly better and secured themselves first blood there. Fissure is going to block off them pursuing the Necro, and actually going to stop them getting back to lane for quite a little bit as well. That was well played there from Earthshaker. So over on the Asztal side, we have got Queen of Pain, going to be played by Ember Prophet, going to be played by Olvas. We have got Brewmaster, going to be played by Lumberjack. Wraith King, going to be played by Jeff Lever. I know that name makes me laugh. Vengeful Spirit, going to be played by Rat Doto, IDK, I play solo, and finally Genidolf on the silencer. And I'm interested in these lanes. It looks like the supports are going to be roaming back down to the bot lane. Shaker trapped in trees for a moment there. This is quite a good blocking ward. It's, I think, deliberately just to the right of the magic bush to make the Radiant team think that it will be somewhere else, basically somewhere over here or over here. But actually it's there, right next to the magic bush, but deliberately not on the magic bush, because if you put it on the magic bush, it's very obvious where your ward is, because 2 camps are blocked, which means it's on the magic bush. Crush gets stunned out there from the Wraith King. Oh, and the Venge as well. This might be first blood. It is, and it goes down to the carry. I assume the carry, Jeff Lever. And great, that's first blood coming out for Asztal. My gosh. Maren Dota coming up as well, looking to get this Wraith King out of lane. Do not want him farming. And Wraith King has actually gone for an early point in the Vampiric Aura, which I generally do not approve of. Bring more regen to lane, and then don't get the Vampiric Aura, because what that'll do is your creeps will regen too. If you regen, you push the wave, and that's not always great. Last hits denies up here. Troll, wow. Roaring ahead right now. Let's have a look over on that mid lane. Yeah, Queen of Pain does not seem to be having a great lane here. Troll will, I assume, have a bottle coming out very, very shortly. Queen of Pain, gonna take her slightly longer. And she actually did get fed a few more tangos from her team as well, and taking so much harass from this Troll. Troll's one of those heroes, like, I always underestimate him. You see him and he looks kind of goofy and you think, oh, he can't surely do that much damage to me. And then suddenly it's all whirling axes and haha, I'm a ranged hero and all sorts of other unpleasant things which nice people don't do to each other. Lumberjack, I gotta say, I don't see him doing hugely well against Heartstopper Aura. That just doesn't seem to be an equation which Brewmaster wins. Evasion is absolutely great, but things like Scorched Earth or Heartstopper Aura are a great way of getting past evasion. Just lots and lots and lots of little ticks of lots of damage, and it's magic damage, so it can't even be evaded. In fact, I lie. Necro's Heartstopper Aura, of course, isn't even magic damage after the recent changes. It's now technically negative health regeneration. Wrap your mind around that. So tri-lane versus tri-lane up top now. It looks like the supports are going for an aggro tri-lane kind of thing. At least after the Morana got the first blood taken there, they've obviously felt that she's not going to be happy up here on the up here at the tri-lane by herself. They get all of the stuns down on Jeff Lever, but I don't know if it's going to be enough damage. They're going to need one more big one, and they aren't going to get it from Yoda, who does dive under the tower to try and drop his spell off cooldown. And of course that's what Skywrath Mage is for in the early game, that kind of ranged nuki harass. But with the stun lock and the towers and the heroes, he was killed before he could get that final bit of damage off. So 2-0 now for Asztal. This is a thing. This is happening, and I said Rize were the favourites. Let's see who scales better in this scenario. I gotta say, I think it's Asztal. And we've got a quick lag pause coming out. Has anybody else noticed? This is talking to you, Twitch chat. Has anybody else noticed how terrible the servers have been recently? I'm hoping people have learnt to avoid US East, because US East has been just terrible recently. And unfortunately, it seems that a lot of people in this game here, on both teams, are kind of feeling the same thing. I think that was a mispause there from Queen of Pain. Oh, and there's the melee bash from Troll. Oof, that blink saved life. And of course, the problem of getting harassed away from a rune as a bottle-dependent mid is not only do you get harassed and low, but you obviously don't get a rune. With Troll guarding the bottom rune as well with his illusion here. Excellent play coming out there from Matrice. Quap is going to have to rotate back, so they might be 2 kills up, but Asztal is certainly not having their way all across the board, as mid is definitively going the way of Rize. I haven't seen a lot of Queen of Pain in the metagame recently, In fact, to be honest, I haven't seen a huge amount of Queen of Pain in the metagame since TI1, but maybe that's just me. Crush getting some last hits up here, taking nice advantage of the tree cover to avoid the potential harass coming out from the Asztal tri-lane. We've got a big dive coming bottom as Necrophos decides that he's going to push this tower, and he's going to do it by just keeping Brewmaster back. Get out of here, Use. Taking a lot of tower harass going past, but of course he does have a built-in heal, and he is keeping a catapult alive while he does it. Almost. If the Radiant Creep Wave had been 1 inch further ahead. Oh, Mirana finishing off Silencer up on the top lane. Getting chased out though by IDK Solo. But this is tri-lane on tri-lane now, so when one of your heroes dies, you've got to think really hard before trying to chase down their killers, because you'll just be running into another round of stuns. Over on the mid lane, Queen of Pain taking a little bit more damage from this troll. That is nuts. Like, what? Ranged when you want, and then melee when you want, and when you're melee you have a bash? Someone tell me that's not broken. Render Dota. I gotta say, with the clarity going, I'd just drop a fissure for the hell of it. You get some of that mana back anyway. But he's just gonna wait. Waiting for the perfect time. I think he wants to be surprising, which is always a good thing to be in Dota. If you're surprising... Oh, I think that's... Oof, I don't know. I really think they could be going for some kills here. Just fissure, leap arrow, and then damage. They could finish off that Venge. Certainly though, what they are doing is making sure that Raking cannot have the free farm which he so desperately wants. He's got his treads up, but there's not going to be anything huge out for him in a while. And he's actually sitting really low, 5th on the last hit table. So while they have given away a couple of kills, the Rize team have certainly controlled this top lane. And in fact, let's have a quick look at the gold per minute here. Massively in favour of Rize. Yeah, it's one of those games where the early game kills, when you watch carefully what's actually going on all of the rest of the time, it's more than making up for giving away those kills. More than making up for it. Marant Dota runs into the dire supports as they attempt to loop round and do a bit of ganking, but everyone's just going to walk away from that with no feelings hurt. And this is a very... Okay, she wasn't expecting to get a rune. If she'd been expecting a rune, that would have been madness. Can only assume she wants to rotate down on this Necrophos. He is a good target, actually. The lane is very pushed. They might actually kill him here. Yeah, they're going to. You and your F running back into the trees immediately runs a TP. That was the right decision. I think he would have happily fought the Brewmaster alone, but realizing that the Queen of Pain was rotating, presumably called out from Matrice, that was a nice decision there to just TP away. Rat Doto gets the smoke revealed, drops the stun down on Matrice, and we do have Silencer and Quap here as well. Matrice just going to try and, I think, earn himself a kill on the way out. Oh no! With the support stun coming in from Earthshaker, Matrice actually going to make it out alive. Beautiful play there from Rize. And Marant Dota wants this next kill. He's got the... Oh, he just needs to land this Enchant Totem, and it's not an easy skill to land. He gets it, and there's the kill with the added damage on the right click as well. Beautiful play. And suddenly Rize, with massive kills going on top as well. Wow, missed that. So who was that? Vengeful Spirit and Wraith King? No, Vengeful Spirit died mid. Well, kills going on up top as well, and Rize suddenly tearing into the lead at 5-2. So, yeah, much action, such wow. This Catapult's going to get a couple of nice right clicks off on the tower as well. Actually gets denied there nicely by Crush on the Mirana. And we've got a rune sitting bottom. I got to say, with Quap and Troll, they've been fairly good at controlling all the runes. I don't think I've seen one hanging around so far this game, but... Oh, wow, those melee stuns. Lumberjack actually struggling a little bit against this Troll. One Whirling Axes there took off about half of his health. How does a damage scaling on that bloody ability work? What the hell? 227... I do not believe that was only 227 damage. There must have been a bunch of right clicks in there as well. More action up on top lane as Wraith King still sitting on 7 last hits. And this is where you can see it coming out. Just look at this last hit. 56 on Necro, 51 on Troll, 48 on Mirana. That's Rize. Next we have a look at Asztal. 22 on Quab, 21 on Brew, and 7 on the Wraith King, speaking of Necrophos, finishing off the Queen of Pain down on bot lane. And with the Troll attack speed, and one ranged creep. They're at least going to be able to force the glyph out. But yeah, this tower's going down. There's no way the Dire Creep Wave's even going to be there in time. And another huge fight up on top lane. We've got Earthshaker down, but only in exchange for Quap and Brewmaster. This is not good for Asztal. They desperately want to try and catch Yoda as well. We should have a stun coming out from Wraith King. It connects. The DOT should be enough, even if they don't get vision. There it is. Wraith King gets a kill. Jeff Lover in trouble now, finished off by you and Yor. He did not need to chase that far with the DOT on his stun. And Venge is finished off, and Genidorf, the only one left on the Asztal team, is finished off. That's a team wipe in exchange for one, ladies and gentlemen. That was big play. And this has been a pleasure of a game to watch, just to illustrate the fact that, you know, first blood, early lead, so doesn't matter if you're laning properly. So does not matter. Does not matter in the slightest. Earthshaker dropping a quick fissure on a teleporting queen, and then backing out up top. It seems like top tower being attacked for Dire as well, and this is going to go down the same way as the first. We do have Silencer. Wow, Silencer, Venge, and Wraith King all TPing up. Wow, the Dire fort comes out late. No benefit for them. No respawn on the reset on the timer as well, because it was popped after the tier 1 tower had already gone down. And I think Asztal might be beginning to feel the pressure a little bit here. When the style of play starts to go down like this, it's generally not a symptom of just where you are in the game. It's more about how you're feeling, and it's not the way comebacks are made. Oh, I've just been told by someone watching on the in-game that I need to turn on my open mic. Apologies for anybody who was watching in-game. I'm used to just streaming for the Twitch. But yeah, we got the in-game on as well. So this is great now. Apologies for anybody who's been watching. I will make sure that is kept on for the rest of the day. Radiant looking to gank. They do manage to land the arrow on Vengeful Spirit, who I think actually turned around back into that one. They're going to get it very easily. I think we're going to have Earthshaker looking to block off. Nope. Not going to go for another kill. That ward is going to get immediately dewarded, but when you have a 4-man rotation to deward, you know that you're forcing the enemy team to waste quite a lot of time. Wow, this is going nuts. I haven't even really had time with the last 5 minutes of craziness to talk about the items that are coming out from people. And Necrophos going for the Blink Dagger. Not the way I know Necrophos, but I'm by no means an expert on the hero. And Blink Daggers, when you are outskilling your opponents, are always good. Genidorf going down here to these fissures. Look at that. Nothing that Brewmaster and Quap can do. I mean, other than Blink, I suppose, but Quap for some reason didn't. Brewmaster doesn't have his yet, having gone for the mana boots first. And I'm not sure whether this was an accidental pull, but it is going to give Rize Gaming a little bit of a bulge when that next creep wave catches up here. Meanwhile, Troll goes down on bottom, going to be able to finish off Queen. No, not quite, but desperate to get it. He's just chasing afterwards now. Does drop the axes, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough damage. Going to just turn around and go back to the tower. What's a cooldown on the ult? 30 seconds with a duration of 7. So yeah, that's definitely worth popping to get down a tower. I should point out these teams have managed to draft quite a few heroes who are not on my list of I know that hero like the back of my hand, including Troll. So some of these times I may have to check up on some of the cooldowns and the durations and such. Who are the other ones? Troll, one I'm not 100% on. Mirana I just don't like, admittedly. Queen of Pain's another one I'm not. I couldn't tell you what the cooldown on her ult is. 135 seconds! Jesus Christ, that's huge. Thank you very much to Sisterton for... Oh, Earthshaker goes down for pointing out the audio problem. Nice kill on the Queen of Pain from Earthshaker. It is going to be Sea Crush, surrounded by a large amount of the enemy team, and the Brewmaster ult is finally popped as well. Jeff Lever comes back. That Reincarnate finally being popped. Matrice gets stunned and then lifted by the tornado. That was an unfortunate case of not needing to do that, my friend. And Necrophos being brought fairly low now, but of course this is Necrophos. He's got a heal in the bag whenever he wants it. And he manages to get the Necro ulti kill on Wraith King. And that's something I didn't mention in the draft for perhaps the first time since it came out. But Necro ulti is broken as all hell these days. Oh wow! Finished off there by the Queen Scream and a quick right click. But yes, that Necro ulti is broken as all hell when it adds a flat 30 seconds. That is offensive. If you kill someone in the first, say you're doing okay, you've just hit 6. You're on the mid against Necro. You're happily, you know, going back and forth. You're doing all right. You're doing okay. And then you have a bit of a scuffle with him, and he manages to get the kill rather than you. And it was close. It was really close. You could have got that kill, but you didn't. He got it. He got it with Scythe. Well, you've just doubled your respawn time. That's going to be like 3 waves of free XP and gold for him. As Matrice goes in here on bottom. But there's going to be a lot of looking around, not a huge amount of doing. I think Maren is just really trying to have fun. I know these kind of Earthshaker games. Oh, they want Lumberjack. They want Lumberjack. I don't know if they realise just how many of the dire heroes are here, though. No, they don't. But they've got Matrice as well, who admittedly is incredibly low. Yoda getting a pick off on the Vengeful Spirit there with his ult. Lumberjack being brought low does not have split. Wow. I kind of think Yoda there maybe, I don't know, it's a tough call when you see a kill and you go for it, but like maybe should have held the ult, because with split down, killing Brewmaster would have been would certainly have been better than killing Venge with it. I don't know. Then again, Venge does of course have the kind of stun which can interrupt that kind of kill attempt. So maybe it was fair enough. Glyph gets forced out on this bottom tier 2. I don't think it's going to help with this many Radiant heroes in the area and Brewmaster on cooldown. We're going to get an arrow launched, going to hit Silencer way on the back line. Oh, but followed up by a fissure. It's not quite enough, but we've got Necro back again with another Scythe. Stunned out by the Vengeful Spirit, so not necessarily going to be able to make it out of here. Just trying to get as much damage as possible so that the Mirana can finish the kills. And there's Vengeful Spirit, and I'm not sure why I was zoomed out for that entire fight. But there you go. Up on top lane, meanwhile, we've got Jeff Lever being brought incredibly low by Troll. What's his ulti status? Nowhere near, so that's one more kill for the Troll Warlord. 272 gold, not shabby at all. And in the meantime now, we are going to be finishing off this bottom tier 2. With Rize just dropping the casual right clicks. And that's all he needs to do. Yoda isn't even helping. Yoda's like, you know what? I got a stitch. I'm going to sit here, get my breath back. Maybe check the news on my iPhone. And we'll play Dota again in a moment. Mirana farming up the mid. Let's see, what's she building? Yasha and drums. Poor Mirana. Don't like. But she did win the fashion show, so she's allowed to do what you want. And yeah, I gotta say, guys, I'm looking for ways. I guess the important question right now is what do Asztal need to do to come back from this and actually just straight up win this game? I think that the core thing for them with Brewmaster side, like all of their heroes are either carries or scale into something resembling a carry, with even a little bit of farm. Even the Vengeful Spirit can add huge amount into a late game team just with her aura. So I think they can outscale a team that has Necrophos, Earthshaker, Skywrath, and Mirana as one of the cores, but it's not going to be easy when Rize have this kind of gaming. It's not going to be easy to try and find the farm that they need just to get to the time in the game when they're actually at their best. It's always a bit of a gamble going for a late game team, and I wouldn't even say they've gone for a hugely late game team, but Rize's team, in addition to probably displaying the better skill as they pick off Lumberjack there with a Reaper Scythe again, Rize have certainly got a team of heroes who are more effective in the early game, in my opinion. Less dependent on items, even for the right clicks, given that they've got the Troll ult. That means you don't even need gold to improve your right clicks. You just need Troll to get some levels. And they're going to be going tearing down mid now. Matrice does have a DD rune which has just expired. Genidorf and the Queen of Pain are the only defense. And it's taken them long enough just to get through the creep wave. This is going to be a dead tier 3. But it is going to be slightly difficult for Rize to just rush up and take the racks based off that. Whop! With a big blink away. And with that war trance or whatever it's called, battle trance, my gosh, the speed of those right clicks. And a Vengeful Spirit finished off by, is that a Dagon? That's a Dagon. Naughty Necrophos. The Aegis is popped on the Mirana. Can she get off another arrow? Is it off cooldown? It's not. These are just kills going everywhere though. Jeff Lever. His ult, he does not have mana for it. I didn't actually see if he could have tread switched there to regain that mana. Always a possibility though in Queen of Pain! I think that must have been an uphill miss or something. I thought Crush had that. We've got Earthshaker coming in to drop all of the stuns to try and help out. They don't get the quad, but they do end up getting the... Wow, this is madness. The madness. Oh, and Quap coming back in, wants to try and take out this Mirana. Matrice working on the bot tier 3. But his team are leaving the high ground, and he is too. Probably good, probably a good call. Show fight recap. Sorry guys, haven't been doing that. We'll do some more in the next game. Some of these fights are, I don't know. This game's just going a little bit one-sided. XP change, no XP change for Asztal there. Just none. Nobody earned any XP in that last fight. Beautiful arrow comes up. Oh, misses. That would have been beautiful. Silencer finished off. Okay, the entire Dire team is going to die or retreat. That's basically all I need to say at this stage in the game. Rize have, I think, now wanting to offend any Asztal fans, I'm pretty sure Rize have won this.
Maybe they're not actually
they are attempting to go straight for the tier 4s and throne. I'm not sure whether this is a desire to get on with the next game, a belief that there's no reason not to, or actually possibly a little bit of fear that if they drag this out too long, they might begin to run into trouble. I mean, it's certainly possible. The only problem is that the Asztal heroes are just so far away from where they need to be to contest this. I mean, we're not even halfway to blink on the Brewmaster. That's what we're looking at now. We do have a nice initiation on the Necrophos, but that was a nice initiation. It was a straight switch under 2 towers, so Necro was taking a decent amount of damage. There were teammates around to help out, and it still wasn't enough. Necro just walked away, and Venge ended up dying in the meantime. These arrows are being launched off mainly just to scout, I think. If they land something, of course, with Earthshaker and Mirana, Rize certainly do have a team who can very quickly rotate over and attempt to get a kill as well. And now we're back on the tier 4s, this time with 2 lanes of Rax down, as Quap goes in, almost manages to get a kill on Crush, but not quite. And the Mirana ult is popped, so that's a free Mirana. Jeff Lever though coming in and trying to go down on Matrice, but just the right clicks coming out from basically everyone on this Rize team. Even the Earthshaker making a great use of the enchant totem there, and GG called out from Asztal there. And an excellent game to both teams. I think Rize, I don't know, I was very impressed at the early lead which Asztal got. I thought they were playing the right kind of Dota. I thought that was a very nice first blood up on Mirana on the off lane, or up in the top lane rather. But it just didn't hold together. Rize have got a lot of skill. They've got a lot of they drafted themselves a team where they knew, I think, exactly what they were doing, and they just did it very, very well. And unfortunately, they did it better than the Asztal team. But GG's, well played to both teams. I think this is still just best of 1 in this at this stage in the game. So Rize will be moving through. Table, unfortunately, out of this this first round. And yeah, I'm going to pop the Be Right Back screen up, and we will be back very, very shortly with another round. But in the meantime, if you are tuning in on Twitch, please do follow. If you're tuning in on YouTube, please do subscribe. And have good games yourselves as well. Have good games. Ciao.